run it up, you run it back, yeah.
Hello and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Run It Back. Person next to me is a man named Chandler Parsons.
He's happy to be here,
He'll be doing
guys.
our show today with us. Lou Williams there on the end. We got Ricky Davis coming up in a little bit. We have a lot of basketball to get to. And can I just say, last night, kind of fun.
Last night was awesome.
But we're going to start in the Garden where hearts were broken. Oh, buddy. All happening in the end here. But CJ McCollum, we introduced ourselves all over again to Mr. McCollum last night with the 32.6 assists, 2 steals, and he had the dagger. Jalen Johnson was 17. Kuminga had 19 points off the bench. Love to see it. Jalen Brunson with 29, 10 of 26, however. But the Hawks were down 14. And then they close out the Knicks in a very raucous and intense Garden. Last week, Danny Green said he heard rumblings that the Knicks are a fractured locker room. That's not something you want to hear.
Already?
And that the dudes might not be digging Mike Brown the way we'd like them to be. So I'm going to start with Lou because Lou's the Atlanta guy here. You represent very well. Last night, what'd you see?
I thought it was a great game. I looked at New York. They were a team that went to their bench, and it didn't work for them. You know, in the first half, in the top of the second quarter, they went to their bench. Those guys give up a 10-point lead. Atlanta's able to go up 1 point. In the second half, you go to your bench again. They don't quite go get the lead, but they cut into it to 5 or 6 points, and then you allow Atlanta to get some momentum, and that hurts you. So they got to figure out what they're going to do when you take Jalen Brunson off of the floor and when you go to the bench. Who's going to be the scorer, and who's just going to anchor you and hold you down? You know, I hadn't seen – I know Alvarado didn't play the first game. He played in the second game. Jordan Clarkson played extended minutes. Like, those guys are deserving of minutes. But if you're going to have them on the floor, they got to be able to sustain runs. And I think when Jordan Clarkson was out on the floor with that first group, he was able to do that. But as a collective, as that second group, they just weren't sturdy last night. And it allowed Atlanta to get some momentum in both opportunities. But on the Atlanta side of it, I just saw a team that wouldn't quit. You know, Jalen Johnson didn't get off to his greatest start. He was slow in getting in a rhythm of this game. But C.J. McCollum was aggressive the entire time. Alexander Walker was aggressive the entire time. You got great minutes from Jonathan Kuminga coming off the bench. You know, he was one of those guys that just did everything that they needed to do. They gave those guys chance after chance to win basketball games just by being active. So this was a quality win. But the glaring thing for me was it wasn't Cat, it wasn't Brunson, It was Mike Brown going to his bench and those guys putting Atlanta in a position where they can win this basketball game on 2 separate occasions. That was glaring for me.
Yeah, I just feel like this isn't really a Mike Brown type offense that they run. It is so heavy usage of Jalen Brunson. Again, that is his game. That is what he does best. He is James Harden. Like, he needs the ball in his hands.
Yes.
He needs a pick and roll and just create and let him get downhill and try and either take one of these tough shots and your fingers crossed you make it, or he just kind of gets 2 on the ball and tries to make the other play. But these are low efficient shots where, like, if you're Atlanta, you are loving the fact that he is taking these shots and you're making it easier to guard. Like, when you know exactly as a defense, when you know what's coming, it is so much easier to guard. And Mike Brown, you know, basically took Steve Kerr's offense from Golden State and he brings it to Sacramento, and they're flying around. They play fast. This team doesn't do that. And I don't know if it's because they're not capable of it, if it's not Jalen Brunson's strength.
I don't think he has the personnel.
But they're 26 in pace. They play slow, and they have really athletic wings in Bridges and OG, really athletic, fast-scoring shooting guards off the bench, and Karl Anthony Towns, who's one of the more athletic, can handle it. Why can't I see Karl Anthony Towns get a defensive rebound and bring it coast to coast and push it up and get into a dribble handoff and then, like, get some more action and some less predictable movement in this offense? It's very stagnant. It's really easy to guard, as you can see at the end of games. And sometimes Jalen Brunson looks unbelievable because he's going to hit these tough shots. He's going to get to free throw line. He's going to hit those little step backs. But when it doesn't work, it just looks so bad.
Yeah. You would like to see the New York Knicks play from side to side with the guys that they have. Like, Bridges can score the ball. Bronson can score the ball. Obviously, OG, obviously, Cat. Those guys can put the ball in a basket, but whoever has it, everybody else is just watching them play. And this works for the Atlanta Hawks. Like, this is a team, they're going to thrive off of long jump shots and long misses because they're going to go out and run. They got athletic guys that can finish at the rim. They're going to create turnovers. They're going to be disruptive. They're going to try to create turnovers by reaching, by being in passing lanes, and they're going to run on those opportunities. So for New York to play such a slow pace. Every time that they miss a long jump shot where they turn the ball over, Atlanta is out and running. So it was the perfect mix for Atlanta. But New York got to figure out a way to get the ball from side to side and make them move from side to side and guard multiple actions as opposed to just guarding ISOs.
Yeah, it's a good point Lou makes, because a lot of time these long shots, these long twos, these long threes, there's long rebounds, and the Atlanta Hawks have 6 or 7 or 8 different guys that can just get it and start to break, and they're so athletic, they're so versatile. Whether it's Jalen Johnson, whether it's Kuminga, doesn't matter. Like, they just have guys that get the ball and they push it, and everyone runs and gets to the corners, and then the spacing is great, then the movement is great. From that, there's so many different actions and counters that make it hard to guard. The New York Knicks, on the other hand, they play very slow. There's only 3 teams that played slower than them this year. And then the half court, your defense is set. You know exactly what to happen, and you can pick your coverages. You can go under. You can force them right and read it. You can trap them. It just makes them that much easier to guard when they're just so slow.
So here's the thing. Brunson took 26 shots. Nobody on the Knicks took more than 12. And stop me if you've heard this story before, but Cat, game 2, not engaged. Fourth quarter, he took, 2-3 shots, didn't have a point. The exact opposite, honestly, from what we saw in game 1. I don't know how to fix that, Lou, because it just seems
I don't
like
think they do either. And that's where the criticism comes from Cat. It's just the consistency. Like, you can hate the system. You can even hate the coach. But at some point, like Chandler just said, you can grab the rebound. You can push it up. You can play 2-man with Brunson, even if you don't want to dribble it all the way up the floor. Kick it up ahead, drag screens, go straight to the post, roll into the post. Or those plays where, he likes to trail plays and shoot those threes. Put 2 or 3 more of those on the ground opposed to settling for that jump shot. There's so many ways that he can impact the game consistently that doesn't have anything to do with Mike Brown. And for that, that's where the criticisms come from. Like that first game, when he said he was a bad MFer, you want to see that time and time again, not just one game, not just a sample size. You want to have that as a consistent. And I thought last night was a great opportunity for them to go up 2-0 on an Atlanta Hawks team that you kind of had on the ropes. Now they're confident going back to their home court where you're not as a strong road team as you would like to be, and they play well at home. And so now your back is against the wall now because of the inconsistency.
I was just going to say that, Lou. Like, how is 2 nights ago he's saying I'm a bad mother effer, and then you take 12 shots and you're 8 of 12 and you don't impose your will and that aggression?
0 points in a fourth quarter of a close game?
You just had success doing. Like I don't understand.
I'm a fine too. I'm getting to the free throw line or something. I'm going to slow this momentum down, and I'm going to get involved in
You
this
had 8
basketball.
rebounds. I don't know how many of those are offensive, but if there's 6 defensive, like that is 6 opportunities for a really big, skilled big man to start the break, initiate the offense. Let Jalen Brunson get out. Let Bridges or OG play the dunker spot, play the 5-man in the fast break, and just get some more fluid movement.
3 offensive rebounds.
Okay, so that was 5 opportunities. He got a defensive rebound. He should just push the break.
I don't
do that.
So it's got to be frustrating as a Knicks fan. It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, look at the fashion that they lost this game.
That's heartbreaking.
I don't have anything from Mike Brown right there. You get a stop and you kick it ahead. Naturally, a lot of coaches will take that. But if these guys, they get the rebound, they're unsure, that's where you call your timeout. So I was hearing some rumblings there, whether he take a timeout there or not. If you're kicking it ahead to one of the guys that's known for attacking the rim for you and can finish at the rim, I'm going to take my chances. He did get trapped pretty fast, and that forced him into a jump shot. But look at the way that game ended. Just one possession. So a lot of times, and Atlanta slowed the game down, by the way. They start playing possession basketball. Once they got a stop, they were able to slow down. But the difference is they play from side to side. If Alexander Walker didn't have it, he'd kick it to C.J. McCollum. If he didn't attack early, I'm kicking it to J.J. If he doesn't have it, now I'm getting it back to C.J. We're going to find a matchup that we like, which ended up being Brunson last night, where he scored on 2 or 3 possessions in a row. They just took their times and they were methodical about how they were going about it, but it looked like they were decisive with their decision-making.
Here's my thing, right? As a viewer, as a fan, I hear, okay, it's Mike Brown's fault one day. It's not Mike Brown's fault another day. So game 1, what? Mike Brown did a good job, and game 2 he didn't?
I think it's a lot of people's fault, but again, first of all, it's 1-1. The series is far from over. Like there's no need to panic if you're the New York Knicks. Like, there's a lot of basketball to be played left, but I just think the offense that Mike Brown is accustomed to coaching and playing, and that constant Steph Curry movement where it's screens, flares, slips, action, that's not Jalen Brunson's game. So I don't know if it's just someone's fault. I think he's trying to coach the way that his best player plays, and I think when it's exposed and it doesn't go the right way, it just looks it looks really bad. And then like a play call like that at the end of the game, I would rather have taken a timeout.
They didn't have one.
Oh, they didn't have one.
No, that was an NBC graphic.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, I'd like a timeout, advance the ball, but now that makes more sense.
No, I know. A lot of us thought, and then they.
But also, a lot of times coaches don't want to.
Okay.
A lot of times coaches don't want to burn the timeout because they don't want to let the defense set up.
But again, I think in the flow, I'll take that look 9 times out of 10. I think we'll make a conversation about it because it's Bridges. But if you get that ball kicked up to Jalen Brunson, we're not having this conversation.
No.
You're gonna live and die by him having that shot.
And again, sometimes coaches don't want to allow substitutions or matchups
or defense to load up on you. Yeah,
100%.
Here's what I kind of love, right? So when we knew we got this matchup, it was like a week ago, we were like, you know what? Knicks fans, Trae Young might be gone, but knowing Knicks fans, they're going to make a new enemy, right?
Yeah.
And they did.
Right.
They did. They went from F Trae Young to FU CJ.
He's no enemy. He just busted your ass.
Well, he said, I'm no villain. I got 2 kids and a wife at home.
By the way, you think villains don't have kids and a wife?
I'm not buying into this.
But I will say, there's a lot of guys that can be a villain.
I love
CJ McCollum's not one of them. He's just a really good basketball player who put on an absolute show in the Garden last night. And then I'm with CJ. It's like, sure, the New York Knicks fans are going to
It's admiration. He said it. He said it's
like,
admiration.
But like, pick anyone else other than him.
No, because can I say again? I'll speak for the fans. As fans, it is nice for us to have somewhere to sort of aim our anxiety and our.
It's a necessary.
We need it. We need that as an outlet.
It's a necessary. However.
But
read the room. These guys aren't they're not giving y'all the ammunition that you need.
There was some spice last night. Daniels and Mitchell and Robinson.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
I will say the Hawks.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
The Hawks just hoop. Like they